Hey Sister Queens, I'm Angela Bond, aka Mrs. Curly 007, and this is your Crowns and Curl Space, where Sister Queens meets Curls. Welcome back to our sisterhood community. For those of you who are new here, this community was created to elevate the crown of your hair, the crown of your mind, and the kingdom of your body and spirit. And today we're focusing on the kingdom of your body and spirit through women's health, and we're going to be talking about fibroids. So this is actually part 2 of the Fibroids series, and we're going to be talking about soybean and the dangers of consuming soybean in regards to, having fibroids. So if you have not seen the first video, which is part 1 of the Fibroids series, I go into greater details talking about what are fibroids. So definitely check that out if you are new here. If you have not seen that video, definitely go back and check it out. So for those of you who have returned and have not hit that subscribe button, we have to talk, sis. Like, what's going on? You're back again and you have not made this thing official. So go ahead on and hit that subscription button, and don't forget to hit your notification button as well so that you can keep up with all updated videos. I definitely want to shout out my real sisters who have actually subscribed and are helping to grow our sisterhood community, joining the sisterhood movement. I am so appreciative and I love you guys so very much. Very appreciated. So, as I said before in today's episode, we're going to be talking about, we're in part 2 of the Fibroids series, and we're going to be talking about the dangers of consuming soybean oils. And like I said before in the last episode, part 1 of the Fibroids series, I went into details about what are fibroids, the possible signs and symptoms of fibroids, and I actually shared with you my initial reaction when fibroids were actually found during an OBGYN visit personally for me. So like I said, go back and check that video out if you have not seen that video. So a real quick disclaimer, I just wanted to let you know that this content is solely based on my personal research and experience. I always ask you guys to do your own research and make informed decisions when considering anything discussed here. I am not a licensed physician, nutritionist, or dietitian, and I'm not giving you any medical advice. That is for you to determine for yourself, as we are all different and at various stages of our health. So let's jump right into it and look at what are actually soybeans. So soybean, also known as soja bean or soya bean, is economically the most important bean in the world, providing vegetable proteins for millions of people and ingredients for hundreds of chemical products. It's believed that the origin of soybean originated in China as early as 7000 BCE. An ancient crop, soybean has been used in China, Japan, and Korea for thousands of years as foods and as a component for medicine. Soybeans were introduced to the U.S. around 1804 and has been particularly important in the South and Midwest since the mid-20th century. So, before we move any further, I do want to let you guys know that I actually have a bonus video at the end of this video where we go on a walk through our neighborhood market, and I get to show you guys firsthand just how common soybean oil is utilized in ingredients or in items that you wouldn't even think about. And I did point some of those out here in this video, so make sure you watch this video to the end so that you can go on a walk through with me and see exactly what I was talking about in this video, okay? So, what is the dangerous, what's so dangerous about consuming soybean when it comes down to fibroids? Well, soy contains what's known as phytoestrogen. Now, these components are known to behave like estrogen, and estrogen is a sex hormone in our body. So, the phytoestrogen has the ability to behave just like estrogen in our bodies. Now, while this may sound helpful if you are battling with low estrogen levels, they're actually a fibroid challenge. And now that's because estrogen levels are increased, and that is what is known to boost the growth of fibroids. And like I said before, in part 1 of the Fibroid series, I did go into greater details about the contributing factors of what actually causes the growth of fibroids, and that's where you start to experience, just a hard time dealing with fibroids because they begin to grow. But definitely, this is my last time saying it. Go back and check out that video, y'all. Okay, I work really hard. I do a lot of research, just so that I can make sure that I bring this valuable content to you guys. Okay, so let's look a little deeper into phytoestrogen versus estrogen. What are their similarities and what are their functions? So, interesting fact is that they're actually called phytoestrogen because their chemical structure resembles the structure of the sex hormone estrogen. So the prefix phyto just simply means plant. So that's where that part comes from. But phytoestrogen similarities to estrogen means that they have the ability to actually interact with estrogen receptors in the cell. These receptors can facilitate the estrogen functions in the body, which means that they can actually override estrogen hormone functions. So that itself is pretty creepy. Now that, if that doesn't convince you that maybe I might want to reconsider using Big Mama's Crisco for those fried chicken dinners, not only does the consumption of soybean oil affects the changes in your hormones, but researchers have also discovered that soybean oil can cause genetic changes in the brain. And go back and watch the video. That's my last time saying it. In an article published in ScienceDaily.com journal, researchers of the University of California discovered that soybean not only leads to obesity and diabetes, but could also affect neurological conditions like autism, Alzheimer's disease, anxiety, and even stress. Used in fast food frying, added in packaged foods, and feeds for livestock, soybean is by far the most widely produced and consumed edible oil in the United States, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And in all likelihood, it is not good. It's not healthy for humans at all. Now, specifically, the scientists found pronounced effects of the oils on the hypothalamus, which is a part of your brain. And this is also where a number of critical processes take place. Now, the hypothalamus helps process sensory impulses like smell, taste, and vision. It manages emotions like pain, pleasure, aggression, and even amusement. The hypothalamus also regulates the body weight via your metabolism. It maintains your body temperature and is critical for reproduction and physical growth, as well as your response to stress. Now, the research team also discovered roughly 100 other genes also affected by soybean oil, by the soybean oil diet. They have believed that this discovery can have ramifications not only for energy metabolism, but also for proper brain function and diseases such as autism and Parkinson's disease. Now, I do want to point out that the oil itself, there's no proof that the oil itself causes the disease. It's actually just the results of actually consuming this type of oil in your body. So I'm pretty sure after hearing all of this, you got to be asking the $1 million question: what are soybean oils found in? Now, I've actually narrowed this down to a couple of items that I feel like we use on a daily basis and we don't even think about it. So those two items or areas that I'm going to focus on is Big Pharma, or the pharmaceutical company, as well as foods. Now, with the foods, I wanted to focus on one particular item that is extremely popular. We use it every day, and I can probably bet that you have it in your kitchen cabinet right now: vegetable oil. Yep, the next time you visit your supermarket, I want you to pay a little bit more of attention, and I want you to spend more time than usual in the oil section and take a look at what plants they come from. Vegetable oils comes in several varieties, and the question though is that what is the safest when it comes down to, dealing with fibroids? What's the safest oil that I can consume? Now, a majority of these are pretty obvious. You got your coconut oil that comes from coconut, peanut oil that comes from peanuts, your olive oil that comes from olives, etc. You get the picture. And they all are great, and they have natural, benefits. And you know what? I may even do a video on oils alone if I get enough requests for it. So if that's something that you guys would like to see in a video, just definitely give me a thumbs up and I will get on that for you. But I chose vegetable oil because I wanted to paint a picture for you, and I want you to just think about just the dozens of recipes that require the use of vegetable oils. You got baking, sauteing, frying. I mean, we marinate it. We utilize it in our cakes and pies. I know, you get the picture. But they're used in dozens of foods, and we consume it on a daily basis, and we don't even think about it. Now, not all vegetable oils are created equal, which is why, again, I stress that you take the time to look at the ingredients and see exactly what's in it. I say this because a lot of vegetable brands or vegetable oil brands, they either have pure soybean oils or they have a blend of it, and this is probably why they don't just come out and call it soybean oil. You don't see that on a bottle of vegetable oil, right? So again, these are the ones that I want you to really try to avoid, stay away from it for obvious reasons that I mentioned earlier. So a couple of examples of some brands, popular brands, that have soybean oil as either their main ingredients or is blended in it is Crisco and Wesson. Those two, along with others, are an example of the vegetable oils that have soybean oils as their main ingredients. So again, please pay attention to the cooking oils that you pick up, and that also goes for pan sprays too. They actually utilize soybean oils as their main ingredients as well. So just be mindful of that. So up next, let's look at Big Pharma. So another section that I want you guys to spend a little bit more time in and pay attention to the labels on the back is your vitamin and supplement aisle. Yes, that's right. Now, the processing of pills itself introduced soy into the product. Vitamin pills need to have like a binding agent to hold everything together, and some vitamins use soybean oil or soy lecithin as a binding agent. It's pretty common. You just never thought about it. And sometimes these ingredients generically are labeled lecithin, and that's included, which is why it makes it difficult to determine whether or not it's soy based. I personally just say stay away from it. If you see lecithin, then just don't even use it. Some examples of vitamins that utilize oils are vitamin D. I've noticed this in like your soft gels. I see that a lot. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but I picked up a lot or came across a lot of soft gel capsules that have soybean or soy lecithin as their main ingredient or added ingredient. Another one that really blew me away when I came across it was fish oil. Fish oil supplements some of them have soybean oil as an ingredient. Now, another one that blew my mind was hair, skin, and nail supplement. And for our natural sisters, we pick up that really quick, just to give us that boost for our hair growth and the strengthening of our hair. But if you're not careful, you can pick up the ones that have the soybean oils in them. And even prenatal vitamins. Yes. Now, if you guys are not aware, I'm actually pregnant now. When I went through my experience with learning about fibroids, this was before I was even pregnant. So that's why this series is so important to me, because I was told, to get a hysterectomy and all these other things that pretty much was told no. Everybody was like, it's impossible. But anyway, we'll get more into that when I post the pregnancy vlog where I talk more in detail to share my experience about being pregnant and dealing with fibroids, or experiencing pregnancy with fibroids. But we'll get into that, so make sure you check that out and be on the lookout for that vlog that's coming soon. I'm so excited. But anyway, the prenatal was something that really blew me away, and I actually was I was throwing vitamin D capsules, prenatal vitamins out in the trash because it had soybean oil in it, because we were trying to conceive. But anyway, I actually left resources of companies that I use now in the description box below. So if you guys want to start switching out, then definitely check out those links so that you can, use the ones that don't have soybean oil in them. So I'm sure that a lot of you, after watching this video, you guys are probably like, okay, you're having a time believing that an oil can cause this much damage. And you're probably even thinking that, now, if I consume this in moderation, it shouldn't have this much of an impact. And hey, maybe not. But the point of this video is to open your eyes up to the things that you're putting in your body. And as I mentioned before, it's very, very personal to me because I'm going through it right now. And in spite of what people were telling me, that I had to get it surgically removed and all of these things, and just, they tell you this. They tell you have to get surgery to remove fibroids, but that doesn't take away the fact that fibroids will come back, because surgery only deals with the source. It only deals with the symptom, and you have to be able to know the source of what's happening in your body. And this is why, like I said, I did this video. So I did it to open up your eyes, be mindful of what you're putting in your body, because not only does it affect the growth, consuming soybean oil can affect the growth of fibroids, but it can also affect the levels of your hormones, and that contributes to having an imbalance, which promotes the growth of your fibroids, which is when you start having issues. So as I mentioned earlier, it can also affect the proper functions of your brain. So those things alone should bring you some form of pause. I mean, I'm just personally, it's my personal opinion. I'm going through this myself, and hearing something like this will be like, wait a minute, what is this stuff doing? And not only that, but us as women, a lot of us are in charge of, cooking. We do the cooking, we do the grocery shopping, and so we're in control of what items come into our household. So we do the cooking for our family. So not only does it help and improve our health, but it can also improve, the health of your family if we're more mindful of the types of food that we're introducing to our family, or the ingredients of what we're putting in our food. So just think about it. If you're trying to be healthy and you're sprinkling this stuff, you're cooking, you're sauteing and doing all of these with these soybean based oils, you're pretty much defeating the purpose, which is why, again, I just mentioned that, but don't mind me, y'all. It's just, we just want to keep ourselves and our families healthy. And this is why I stress, and did this video for you guys. So there you have it. You guys have quite a bit to think about. The next time you go into your grocery stores and you stop by the vegetable oils, hear my little voice saying, be mindful. Stay away from the soybean oils based, vitamin, or the soybean oil, cooking oils and all that. And again, when you pay a visit to your vitamin and supplement aisle, the same thing. Being mindful of what you're putting in your body. Now, I wish I could say that soybean oil train stops here, but unfortunately, no, we're just getting started. So on part 3 of the Fibroids series, we're going to be going into diet changes and foods to avoid. So don't get too comfortable, because you will hear these terms again. You will hear soybean oil. You will hear soy lecithin. You will hear those terms again. So please, please, please don't shoot the messenger. I'm just the messenger, but I'm going to go ahead on and give you fair warning that you might be a little ticked off and very much surprised to hear about all the types of food items that this one thing is in. Extremely popular. You just heard it yourself, how popular this oil is. So again, don't shoot the messenger, ladies, okay? And gents, if we have some gentlemen watching this video. But until the next video, ladies, I want you to stay healthy. I want you to be cautious of what you're putting in your body. And I want you to remember that our bodies are a temple. It's a temple. And to keep the crown is to keep that temple in check, okay? So please, please like this video. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if this video gave you some form of value. Please share this with your auntie, your sister, your godmom, your co-workers, women that you know, women that you don't know. Share it with your church family. Share this video. I'm trying to get this information out. I find myself a lot of the times in grocery stores speaking with random women that are looking at me sideways because I'm taking forever reading their ingredients, and they're asking me, well, what is in that? And then I find myself going down the line of telling them what I'm telling you guys, and them saying I had no idea. My sister just got the surgery, or I got the surgery done. And I'm just doing this again because I want you guys to be aware of other options. I don't want you to just take the doctors or surgeons, their word for it alone. I want you to educate yourself. I want you to be mindful there are other avenues as opposed to just having someone cut on you. I mean, especially right now with the pandemic, why would I want my body exposed to this? You know what I mean? But anyway, I want you guys to, like I said, subscribe to the channel. Help me grow this channel. Like this video. And I will definitely see you on the next one. Until then, remember, as I always say, you guys are queens. Remember that your crown was custom made, custom fitted for you. So wear it. Until the next video, I love you guys. Bye.